Hi, so we're going to go ahead and start to, we're going to make our first program with Eclipse in Java. So we're going to go ahead and click our Eclipse shortcut. Remember that we downloaded earlier we put it in our documents, we just unloaded it into Eclipse. It's basically, we don't install anything because it's a Java-based program, so it just kind of lives in a folder. Okay, so on our workspace, what we're going to do is we're going to select a new workspace. Okay, so in my case, I've already made one. I'm going to create a new one called Student. So I'm going to make folder. I'm going to put it in my documents. I'm just going to make a new folder. I'm going to type in Student. You should maybe type your first name. I need to hit Enter. Okay, then I need to click off and then click it again. Okay, and then click OK. And then click OK again. Alright, so this is going to be a new workspace, and a workspace in Eclipse is just where everything is stored. So essentially it's where Eclipse works out of. When you create a new workspace, Eclipse gives you this screen, this kind of welcome screen here, and we want to go right into the workbench. So we're going to click up on the right hand corner, this workbench, and if you see here, this is the Eclipse workbench that we're looking at. Now we go ahead, we're going to check our workspace. We go to File, Switch Workspace, and notice that we're going to go to Other. Well, I'm sorry, so if we switch workspace, it shows us the other workspaces that have been defined in the program. If we click Other, the current one will actually come up. So I can go ahead and click Cancel. If my current workspace is there highlighted, if it's the one that I want, then I can go ahead and click Cancel. If not, I can select a different one and click OK. So if I wanted to switch workspaces, I'd just go to Other. I'd select one from the drop-down menu, or I'd browse to it and then click OK. In this case, it's already set, so I'm going to click Cancel. Okay, so we're creating our first Java project. So I go to File, New, Java Project. Okay, I'm just going to call this Project 1. And we're going to leave everything else to default. Notice the GRE that we installed earlier is already selected. I'm going to click Next, and then I'm going to click Finish. Okay, so we have our project. Notice that it installs our JRE system library here. We also have a source folder. Okay, and the source folder is where all our programming is going to go. So I'm going to right-click on Source Folder. I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to go to Class. Okay, I'm going to leave the default package here. And then notice what happens if I need a Hello World class, but look what happens if I type Hello World with a space and with a capital letter. Notice how my Finish button is still grayed out. That's because you can't have any spaces in a class name. Okay, so now notice that Hello World now we can click Finish, but notice it gives us a warning message. So use of the default package is discouraged. Also, let's say I make this the hello package, right? Notice that if I were to call this with big H, that the package name is discouraged. It usually starts with a lowercase letter. So we're going to go ahead and change it to hello, the hello package, and hello world is our class. Okay, oops, and it's giving us another error message here. So usually the class starts with an uppercase letter. So we're going to have the hello package, and the name of the class is hello world. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, once I've typed in hello and hello world, we're going to go ahead and click on the public static void main option here. So it says which method stubs would you like to create, and we're going to have it type in the public static void main method for us just to start us out. So we're going to go ahead and click Finish. Okay, so we have our package. So it automatically opens up our class file. So notice in our project area we have our source folder, we have our hello package, and then we have the class hello world.java. Okay, so if we wanted to go in and take a look at this in the file system, we could go into our documents. We go into the name of our workspace, right? And then notice it's similar. So it's project 1. And then we're in our source folder, we're in the hello package, and there's our hello world.java. Okay. All right. So we're just going to write a very simple program. Notice that we have our package statement, hello. We have our class statement, is hello world, right? And then we have our first method, that method that we asked it to type for us. So we're going to go hit enter. Notice that it keeps everything nice in line there if I hit enter from the previous line. And we're going to go ahead and just print out a statement. So we're going to start with the system.out. Okay, and notice how it's going to ask me, notice how this thing pops up here. So it says enable intelligent code completion. Okay, now this is kind of a dangerous thing for new programmers. If you're trying to do a project and your goal is a utilitarian goal, that you just want to make things that work, I suggest code completion. Okay. However, if you're studying for some kind of a test, for example, the AP test for high schoolers, if you have a kind of an old school coding class in university, code completion might not be your best bet because you need to memorize these codes for a test versus an actual programmer would never memorize. Well, they'd memorize it as it was necessary. So the things they used a lot would automatically be memorized. The things that they didn't use, they wouldn't go and look up if they needed to. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and turn on code completion. So we're going to go ahead and click over here. All right, and then we can click on this system out, right? So we can double click here, and notice when I hit my space bar again, it's going to give me all the things for system.out. So notice that it gives every possible statement for system.out, which is very, very, very helpful. It's a good way to learn a language to see what your options are. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do print. Oops. Okay, so notice that print ln, if I type my period again, print ln is selected there. I can just hit enter. And then we're going to have a string in there. So we're going to type our, notice how it says string X. So we're going to go ahead and type our own string. So I just put in two quotation marks, and then we're going to type in hello world, exclamation point, because that's the classic first statement. Okay, so we have our, this is a full Java program now. So we have our package, we have our class, we have our method inside of the class. Our method is calling the system out print line method, or sorry, print in method. It's print in. I always mistake it for L, and it's going to print out hello world. So to go ahead and run this in Eclipse, we just go up to the run button. We click run. It's going to ask us. We go ahead and click. Usually I say go always save, so you can check that if you like and click OK. And here is our console, and we get our output of hello world. Okay, so that is our first Java program. Go ahead and try it yourself. Good luck.